Welcome to Moose's Soapbox. Okay, so there's a lot of protests going on around the world about climate change and the environment, and I support these. I don't necessarily support the methods. I don't necessarily support all of the research that's been done. I think there's a lot of flawed jump on the bandwagon research by scientists who aren't scientists at all. But anyway, I do support the general tone of treading more lightly on the planet and taking better care of our environment and our fellow animals and plants and creatures, okay, and resources, not being so wasteful. I do support that fully, that message. When I was a younger chap, nearly an old man now, but when I was a younger chap in my teens and 20s, we protested a lot of things as well. The kids of today might not know that, but we protested a lot of things as well. For example, we protested about the hole in the ozone layer and about the use of chlorofluorocarbons, and we got those phased out. Okay, there were protests all around the world about this, and high school kids and adults and my parents and everybody joined in, old people, everybody joined in, and we put pressure on the governments and we got chlorofluorocarbons phased out very quickly. It happened very quickly. It was like within months. Another thing we did was we had a lot of protests about nuclear power and the dangers that represents, and also the strain on future generations for storing all this waste. Okay. So hundreds of thousands of years this waste has got to be stored, and no one's worked out a single place to store it yet. Yucca Mountain in the US is not going ahead, and all these storage places that were semi-set aside or explored for Australia aren't going ahead, and so on. So there's still nowhere safe to store any of the waste, so why are we still using nuclear power? It's certainly not green. It might produce less CO2 emissions, but it's producing lots of other dangerous byproducts that are going to go on for centuries, hundreds of centuries, millions of centuries, potentially. Okay, millions of years potentially. And the other thing we protested against, another one that comes to mind, is the use of junk mail catalogues and the glossy white paper colour advertising junk mail catalogues that used to appear in our letterboxes. And we put a lot of pressure on companies, supermarkets, companies, businesses, the government, to get those phased out, and at least to change down to less glossy paper, less use of colour, less harmful chemicals in the production. So things like recycled paper catalogues started coming out for a lot of businesses. And the trend was really good for a while, but I've noticed that things are reversing back. So that's Moose's soapbox topic for this week, is these rotten, glossy, white paper catalogues that are horrible for the environment, horribly energy intensive, use horrible chemicals in the production, and 99% of them just go straight into landfill, and there's some dangerous chemicals contained in those, which leach out over time as well and go into the groundwater and who knows where, so into the oceans and who knows where. So these are the junk mail catalogues I've just received. I've received a great big wodge in my letterbox just a few minutes ago, and this is the topic for Moose's Soapbox this week. All these rotten catalogues. We're going to name and shame the companies that are producing these catalogues, and it's going up on my YouTube. And who knows, I might get one or two viewers watching this, so who knows what could happen. But it's all I can do. I might also track down email addresses for these companies and send them a terse email. But anyway. So the first catalogue, Aldi. Good on you, Aldi. That's a nice, thick, glossy catalogue there. You're destroying the environment. Big W. Shame on you, Big W. Okay, shame on you. Coles. Another glossy catalogue there. Okay, all your specials. Really? Does this be on glossy white paper? Come on. Drake's, a little supermarket here in Australia. Bad form, Drake's. Come on, you can do better. Anaconda, a sportswear company that claim to care about their environment, and here they are producing all these catalogues and dumping them in people's letterboxes. It's not quite as glossy as the other ones, so they got a sort of a bonus mark there, but come on. 30-page catalogue. Do we really need that? Don't be stupid. This one's from Woolworths. Another Woolworths catalogue. There it is down the bottom, Woolworths. And another glossy catalogue for Halloween, so more waste. Another Woolworths catalogue. Goodness me, Woolworths. Very glossy. Quite a thick one, this one. It's got to be at least 20 or so pages long. Supercheap Auto. Only a little catalogue, but it's only about 8 pages long or so. But it's still using glossy white paper. Lots of nasty chemicals involved in that production. And Spotlight. Spotlight is a homeware sewing centre. Manchester, all that sort of stuff. Big glossy catalogue there. Not of interest. Optus. Optus, yes. Okay. A big glossy catalogue. Full of junk. And of course, it won't be of interest to 99% of people who get it, because people either have their phone plans already and something like this isn't going to convince them. So that's just straight away 99% into the bin, into landfill. So good on your Optus there. Fantastic furniture. A big glossy catalogue. Shame on you. Harvey Norman. Deals. I'm reading it in backwards. Okay, Harvey Norman. Another big glossy catalogue there. No need for it. Bunnings Warehouse. Now, Bunnings is one of the few, it's a big catalogue, but they are one of the few that use recycled paper, or it feels like recycled paper, and it's got less use of colour, or generally it's got less use of colour inside. So that's not as bad as some, but I don't think many people need to see a 20 page catalogue each week or whatever, do we? No. Come on, Bunnings. Next one, Early Settler. A company I've never heard of before, Early Settler, but I certainly won't be shopping there. This is a great big glossy catalogue of stuff that I won't even look at. It's going straight into landfill. Shame on you. And another great big Harvey Norman catalogue there. This is a really big one. It's like a big fold-out newspaper. It's got to be about 25 pages or so. So shame on you, Harvey Norman. Okay, you shouldn't be producing stuff like this. I mean, I thought we'd had this beat when I was at high school still. We were protesting for these catalogues, and we had it changed. All the businesses in Australia were changing over to these recycled paper, low colour, no nasty chemicals in their production, and all that's just gone, and companies are reverting back to their old rotten ways to try and flog their merchandise. So I've been putting this video up on my YouTube channel. It's the first Moose's Soapbox video. I've got plenty more things to complain about. Don't you worry about that. My friend over there just looked at the stars because, yes, he knows I have. Okay, so anyway. Please stop producing these rotten catalogues. Please stop giving them to everybody, even if they've got no junk mail on their letterboxes. Please have a thought for the environment and the waste that you're producing. And the people who are delivering the catalogues, please pay attention to what's written on letterboxes. And we'll try and stop some of this waste that's going on, because it's unsustainable, and we're treading far too heavily on our environment, leaving far too heavy footprints. Okay, thanks for watching.